Hi, I'm Austin Arceo, the marketing lead at Wabash Valley Power Alliance.
And I'm Chris Stokesfam, the manager of cybersecurity at Wabash Valley Power Alliance.
With October being Cybersecurity Awareness Month, we decided to start a new effort embracing the cooperative principle of education, training, and information. Our goal is to educate co-op members about the importance of being vigilant about potential cyber risks. They're everywhere. We're constantly hearing about new scams and hacks. I've always been taught to look for the obvious things in an email or a text, any sort of message that are like misspellings, poor grammar, things like that. They're fairly obvious that would cause you to kind of slow down and question things more critically. Now we're hearing about how artificial intelligence or AI is going to fix these things. How can people keep up?
You are correct. AI is going to start making this really challenging with the great amount of corrections in grammar and spelling that it will provide and how realistic it will make that language of the conversation. You're not going to be able to detect it very easily. In fact, there was a multinational engineering and architectural company that lost $25 million to a scam using deepfake AI technology. So a deepfake is media, so audio, video, images that either edit existing or create media completely from scratch, but it's all fake.
How are they used in the attack that you're talking about?
So an employee got a phishing email, like you were talking about. He was initially very suspicious of that email, so the attackers decided to step it up a bit. They were trying to get him to do this financial transaction, so they got him on a Zoom call, and when he got on that call, he saw his chief financial officer and his boss and several of the key staff looked exactly like them, and when they spoke, sounded exactly like them, and they convinced him to transfer $25 million, all generated by AI technology.
How can somebody protect themselves against that?
It's difficult, but once you understand the tactics and techniques, you can start to see the signs and start to see the red flags. It all boils down to how you think. There's a psychologist, Dr. Daniel Kahneman, who wrote a great book on this called Thinking Fast and Slow. He divides this decision-making part of the brain into two systems, System 1 and System 2. System 1 is the fast unconscious response that comes to mind first. It's driven by emotions, previous experience, it's all automatic. It's your muscle memory, it's your intuition. System 2 is that analytical part of your brain. It is the critical thinking piece. Now, it is slow, it's difficult to engage, and while you're doing that, while you're using System 2, you typically can't be doing anything else. You're completely focused on whatever System 2 is trying to do. The science of thinking is the foundation of the most common way people get scammed or hacked, and it's called social engineering. And this is where they trick people to take actions or give up information that they normally would not do.
How do scammers use social engineering?
Going back to that System 1 and System 2 thing, right? So a social engineer is going to spend effort trying to push you away from System 2, the slow critical thinking, into System 1. The more you're using System 1, the more likely you are to make mistakes.
That makes sense, but what does that look like in reality?
So there's common exploits that we can use to make people make poor decisions. So the most common, urgency. Other frequently used ones are exploiting curiosity or hope, and you'll see that with job scams or lottery scams. Need for approval, we'll see that a lot with dating scams, especially on these dating apps. And then you get into combination ones. So authority is a common one. People tend to obey anyone that portrayed as an authority figure without question. Ignorance, right? Taking advantage of people not knowing how things work or what the protections or rights that they have. Intimidation, using intimidation to, threaten you with something like a warrant. And those three are usually combined together, right? So if I was trying to, scam someone, I might call up and say, hey, I'm with the sheriff's department, authority, I have a warrant out for your arrest, intimidation. And I'm playing on the ignorance that you don't know that the sheriff doesn't call when he has a warrant, he'll show up at your door. So the next other common two that we see is trust. So exploiting trust in relationships that people have. And we're seeing that a lot with emails and phone numbers getting compromised, and then you get an email from your parents or maybe from a coworker. And then the last one, unfortunately, is compassion. So we're wired to be trusting and compassion, but now you see this with donation scams, especially while we're having natural disasters. They'll stand up, fake sites for donations.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. It's sad to see that scammers exploit people's compassion, especially during times of desperation.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the reality of the world we're living in. However, if we understand how this is working and what's being used against us, we can build tools to protect ourselves.
What are the tools that you're talking about?
So as a Navy guy, I have to use a good acronym mnemonic because that's what the Navy does. So if we take the letters of SCAM, we can make an easy to remember self-defense technique. S, slow down. So take time to think through the situation and the information you have. This is pushing you from System 1 style thinking to System 2 style thinking. C, confirm through a known valid contact. Find the official contact person, number, provided from an official website. If it's, your bank calling, look on the number that's on the back of your bank card, call that number. The trick here is do not reply or to the call, text, or email that initiated the conversation because it's likely been compromised. So again, they're exploiting that trust piece. A, ask for a second opinion. So get family or coworker or friend to come look at what you're being told and what information you're getting. That third party will have an objective look at this, and they will probably smell out, the scam that's right in front of you. And the last one, in my opinion, is the most important. M, make a report. So, definitely report any of this stuff to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, the IC3. Tell your friends, tell your family. The more people that know the scams that are coming at them, the more likely that they are to detect them before something happens.
Sounds good. That device works. When someone thinks it might be a scam, you just think scam.
Right. Remember, slow down, confirm through a known good source, ask for a second opinion, make a report.
Sounds good. This was really informative, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. I hope everyone finds this information useful, and if it comes in handy, feel free to share it with friends and family.